Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since you've seen me. You've seen my actual face. But I needed to get some stuff in order. I moved to a new country, things have changed, but now I have a setup. And I've always said in my previous videos that life keeps getting in the way. Well, life doesn't get in the way anymore, and I can focus on my channel. So if you don't know who I am, and since I'm changing a few things on this channel, well, my name is Kathleen, and I like to do a lot of things. My brain sometimes goes all over the place. I have made hair tutorials, makeup tutorials, I have reviewed things, I have unboxed things, and now I'm gonna do crafting, because why not? I need a hobby, I need something that makes my head happy, and I found something I really like, which is making cups. If you know me in my personal life, you know that I love cups. Like, I have an obsession with the mugs. I collect them. Maybe one day I'll show you my collection. If you're interested in seeing that, you should leave a comment below so I know. And recently I've discovered epoxy, and I've discovered that you can cover cups in epoxy, so it's sealed, it looks shiny, it looks professional, and I think it's brilliant. So I decided to kind of do my own thing and try to put epoxy on Starbucks cups, because I love Starbucks. Starbucks and cups together, yeah, that's my thing. I'll show you my very first one that I made last week. It's this one. It's a 4th of July inspired cup. I did the drawing of the logo on my iPad, and I kind of made it watercolor. You can probably see right now. And then I put some glitter all over, and I also added my name, but you cannot really see it because it's gray. I wanted to do gray. It's glitter gray, but then when the cup is filled up, you can see the name better. So that's my first one, and today I am going to try a new one. So before I get into this, maybe I should tell you that if there's anything I've done on my channel that you still want to see, it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna stop. Like, I've loved doing the unboxings of replicas. It's still a part of my life, but I plan to introduce what we're going to do today, which is studio vlogs. I have to say that the channel Catnip Illustration is one of my favorite channels on YouTube, and this girl really inspired me to come on here and just do my thing, but in front of you guys. I learned so much from YouTube in general that I wanted to share my part. I wanted to show you how I'm going to attempt to grow on Etsy. So I have so far 2 listings. I have this cup, and I have another one that I made with my friend when she was staying here last week. She obviously took it with her, but I'm able to make that cup again if you want it. So this is studio vlog number 1, and the subject of this studio vlog, we're gonna attempt to epoxy a hot drink Starbucks cup, if that makes any sense. So the ones that are not transparent, the 16 ounces one. For now, you can order that blue, red, and kind of white Independence Day cold cup. And I've also put the option to order it for a hot drink. But I haven't tried yet, so I might like, so far no one has ordered it anyway, so I might take down the listing if it looks like you can't do it. But I think there would not be any problem. But anyway, so my next project is a project for my mom. She is a big fan of a French singer, and I wanted to make a cup for her. She doesn't know I'm making this, inspired from one of his albums. And so what I have already done, so I have my cup turner. I will bring you up close, but just for now I'm just trying to explain what today is going to be about. And I have spray painted the white cup. I'll show you. So I spray painted purple because you've seen on the picture that the album has a purple background, and then there's a red disc, there's an arrow going across, and then there's his picture. So for a first, it's quite a lot of work. So I have spray painted this cup for now, but then I had the idea. I said, why not? You know, these cups are inexpensive. That's also why I like to work with these. I think I'm gonna spray paint the lid and then put some glitter on it, some gold glitter. So this is done. I spray painted this twice. So now I think the next thing we should do is spray paint this. I will show you the kind of spray paint I'm using. The only thing that I should not spray paint is the inside of the lid, and obviously this will be cleaned after I'm done with the epoxy. Also, the reason why I really wanted to do these kind of videos is because I got so much help from YouTube, and here I'm attempting to try something that I don't know if it will work, and I figured some of you might learn from it. So this is the first thing we need to do, is spray paint this. I have 2 cup turners. I don't know if you can tell from the angle, but I have one that I can actually remove this. And what I need to do, because I need to spray paint it but I can't hold it, is I guess I'm going to remove this part and find a way to keep the lid like this so I can spray paint it, like I've said a million times. I had an idea originally to use a little suction thing from the dollar store, but that's not going to work. Maybe I can... I didn't think I could do that. Maybe I can just double tape on this, like this. But I have a double-sided tape, but I don't know where I put it. That's going to be a fun one. Oh, well, here it is. Alright, I'm going to bring you guys closer so you can see what I'm doing. And of course, I did not cut this straight when I did it, so it's not standing up properly. But now I just had an idea. So you might think this is funny, but my cup turner is made with half of stuff I already had laying around in the garage. And so that's why it kind of looks ugly. And like these things, they were my wedding arch. It was my background for the wedding. I don't really know how to say that, but it was a wedding arch. It was the structure of it. So I had these in the garage and I knew I wasn't gonna reuse them. Even if I remake the arch, I'm gonna get something nicer than these pipes. And so this was like the connection. So I put it there because I wanted something to remove it, but now I just had the idea that I can do this, which is super helpful because it wasn't the intention. All right, so let's hope this works. Also, I'm doing this on the small cup from Starbucks, so I'm using the small dollar store ball football thing, but when I did the big one, I used the bigger one. Okay, so we're gonna see if that works, but because there's a lot of wind outside. Also, I'm gonna do this outside, you guys. That's why I'm... Okay, this is funny because now it's like holding really strong, and I don't want to mess with it too much. Okay, it should work. It should work. Now I'm just worried that I've touched it so much that my fingerprints and everything might make this dirty. I mean, not make it dirty, make it leave finger marks, whatever you call this. I have some alcohol here, 91%. So also, like, something that I haven't seen anywhere is people trying to epoxy these. People might think, why are you putting so much effort into cheap cups? Well, reason number one is because they are cheap but high in demand, I'm able to put a lot of work and still keep a low, reasonable price, and you're still getting a brand, if that makes sense. Now I'm not ever limiting myself. I just like Starbucks a lot, and I like working with Starbucks cups because they are so inexpensive. I don't know, if you have other questions, guys, just go in the comments. Alright, so the purple we're going to use, it's because it looks a lot like the purple from the picture. It's a really pretty purple. It's the grape in gloss. I couldn't find a matte. I'm pretty sure everyone has always recommended to use a matte, but really I couldn't find one, so whatever. And plus we're going to epoxy over it, so who cares? Anyway, hopefully this seems like pretty sturdy. I will take you guys outside I can already tell you it's really windy, so I'm sorry if it looks like trash or if I'm not in frame or whatever. So I hope you guys will be able to see this, and I hope the wind won't like throw all the paint in your direction. Anyway, let's do this. Why not, right? Let's experiment. I'm trying to see in which direction the wind is going. Alright, stop wasting time, Kat. Do it. God, everything is going back in my direction. Alright. I hope this was in frame, but it's how it looks like. Let's go back inside, let this sit for a little bit while we're working on the cup itself. We're gonna put this like this, and I let it turn, like I let it turn, not for any reason, that I just hope it will make it go faster and like dry faster. And maybe we'll do something like smooth it out, whatever. We might need a second coat, I have no idea. Now let's work on the cup itself, but I'm going to go to the other cup turner for this. So this one was the one that my friend was working on, and she used my, I don't really know how this is called, to block this because it moves, but I'll keep this out of the way for now. And I will take this, because I've seen this online and it's kind of a brilliant idea. I had this at the house already. Okay, I'm going to toss this. So the next step now in the design is the circle. Because we have the purple, now we have to add the circle. I will use this Cricut vinyl. I don't think it is the best vinyl to use, but I found it in store. I didn't really have a plan. I just needed red vinyl, and so I just went with this. So we're gonna see. Hopefully it doesn't suck too bad, because I've heard people complain about it. It's not a very intricate design, it's just a circle. So it's called Cardinal Red Matte, if anyone is wondering. So I've already done the cut file for the circle. I just haven't made up my mind on the size of it, so we're gonna do that now. I need this little tool. And I wanted to put it because I was worried that it would show through at some point, but I really cannot tell where the circle was originally. I'm gonna put it on this more grainy side, and I think I'm gonna do, I work with centimeters and not inches. I'm sorry, but I find inches to be very impractical because millimeters are smaller. If you can tell, millimeters are smaller than inches, and so I find that inches is really not precise. Plus, I grew up in Belgium where we use centimeters and millimeters all the time. So I'm sorry for that. Then in the future, I'm most likely going to talk in centimeters. I think I'm going to do 6. I'm just worried it's going to be so big. 5 should be good. 5 centimeters, which seems to be about 2 inches as a reference. So, I'm going to take my red vinyl and I'm going to cut a piece. If my husband did not steal my scissors. No, he didn't. I'm sorry for accusing you. So I did 5 centimeter with some change. We'll do 6 to be safe. I'm cutting a square that I'm just gonna put on the mat, and Now I have my mat. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have an extra workspace here, but don't really have the room for it. Like this. Yeah, my mat is disgusting. I know it's not like nastiness, it's a black paper. It was like the first time I used a mat, I used some very heavy craft black paper and it like got all gross. Anyway. Then I'm gonna send it, and for the material we have vinyl, but I'll do vinyl matte if we actually have vinyl matte. We'll see. I'd like to do 2 passes because I don't know, I just find that one is rarely enough. Move this out of the way. I can't believe that with how much space I have, I'm still struggling. Like, this is unbelievable. Anyway. Righty. So, I noticed that it tends to do this. Can you tell this little bump here? It's because it's like when I have a shape, it doesn't close it all the way through. So I just pulled it out. Let's do this. No. Shit. I'm using the other one. That's great. Should I just peel this and wing it? Who knows? Kind of transparent though. Alright, now next step is the arrow. So what I wanted with glitter vinyl, I already have a silver one, but for this one I wanted a gold. And so I ordered that. Joanne, the website joanne.com, had a deal where any item, like an order, any price, was no shipping. So it's very convenient because it's actually really hard to get this vinyl. I don't know why it is. And so here's the thing. It's kind of a shitty vinyl, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's not really good, only because it's really hard to use with transfer paper, but if you're patient with it, it still works. And I wanted like I didn't want a glossy glitter vinyl. I wanted like to feel like you put some glitter on the surface, if that makes sense. First, we should probably figure out the size of the arrow. I've already drawn the arrow on Silhouette. If you're interested to know how I did this arrow, I can do a tutorial. It's really not hard. So now I'm doing the size of the paper because it kind of gives me an idea of how much to cut on the vinyl. But it really bothers me that the arrow would be as large as almost like a 13 and a half. 13 and a half, it means it almost goes around. I kind of want to do half of that. Or should I have just a smaller arrow across? Like go from here to here? Oh god, I don't know if I should have the whole thing go like this. I don't like changing a design like that because it's... So I wanted to show you this before I'm gonna cut it. So the base of the arrow here, it used to be shorter if I respected the dimension, the proportions, but I just made it longer. So I made it longer so I can overall make the arrow shorter and it will fall here. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But if I just kept all the proportion and make it 12 centimeters, it would like, each side of the arrow would be here, and I feel like it would, I don't know, I just feel like it would look stupid. So now we can cut it. So the piece of vinyl I'm gonna cut is going to be 12 by 13. 12 in width and 13 in height. So I cut the rectangle, it's not a square anymore, and so this is how it looks. I really think it's a pretty vinyl. I'm not a big fan of Cricut machines, and I could make a video on that topic if you want to see that, but I mean, this vinyl, it's pretty much a sticker at this point. It's not vinyl, but it's really cool. I don't know, I like it. It's not the easiest to work with, but let me tell you, you are the crafter. The paper is not going to do the job for you. I feel like sometimes people forget that. So here it is, and we're gonna load it. So unload. Hopefully it cut enough. I'm realizing as I'm peeling this that I'm wasting vinyl, because I could have totally saved this giant corner, but whatever, forever, it's the first try. Honestly, it was easier than I thought it was gonna be. My goodness. Let me show you. So this is the arrow. I basically made this longer, so this is the right proportion from here, so I just made this longer so it would sit taller. I try to peel this straight so it doesn't bubble. That's fine. Whatever. So I do not feel comfortable just sticking this on like this. So this is gonna go like this. Hopefully, we'll see. So I'm gonna use this paper. So I'm sorry I'm not like teaching you basic stuff about sticking vinyl on a tumbler or whatever. If you want like a very basic video about how to start and things like that, like instructions, I can either refer you to a video or I can make one for you. So I put the paper, this kind of paper, I don't know what it's called. So the goal now is that the arrow sticks onto this paper and peels off from this one. And it peels. Woo! So this is the sticky side, and this is going to help us put it on the tumbler. It's much easier, I'm gonna say, if you want to use this kind of vinyl, you're gonna find that it's much easier to use on bigger pieces than letters. Bottom edge here, it's not as perfect as I would want it to be, but what can you do? I like it though. I like how you can almost see the whole arrow. Now the last bit is putting the picture of my mom's favorite singer. And then I want to add her name in the back here, somewhere across. Okay, so now we have to decide of the height of our little guy. I think I want him to be 10 centimeter high. 10.5 is a good medium. Okay, so that part, because we're printing an actual person, we are going to do on printable vinyl. Sorry, move that coat. So I have already used this printable vinyl, but it's not because I used it for other stuff that I'm gonna just throw it away. And I can, again, do a tutorial on this if you need it, but as you can tell, there's still the registration mark, so you just have to make sure you're not printing or cutting on anywhere where you've already printed, and you're good to go. You can reuse this. Hopefully I have enough ink because every time I keep saying it runs low. And now we're gonna print and then we'll cut. Paper type, I never know what to put for this. Is it photo paper, heavyweight? I'll leave on auto select. If you know what kind of setting to put on the printer for printable vinyl, I'm really interested. I mean, the skin color is a bit off. Kind of has a James Bond vibe, but I don't think it looks bad. Kind of is purplish and the whole thing is purplish. I think my mom will be happy with this. So, you know when you think you're recording but you're not? Well, this is what just happened. So I don't know where I left you guys off, but I managed to put the vinyl on here. It looks cool. Honestly, I'm not mad. It looks really cool. And like even with the little line on the side, it's not too bad. It looks like it would almost be on purpose. And you guys can compare with the real picture. Okay, so now what I want to do is put her name on the back with the same glittery thingy. And so I'm going to go do that. It might take me a minute because I don't really know what font I'm gonna use. So I've written my mom's name on Silhouette, and I've used this font. It was already included in the program. It's called Silhouette, apparently. And my mom's name, first name, is Mary France, and it has a little dash in the middle. So I think that's how I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna probably put it that way, but I'm probably gonna put these two closer to the dash. I'm not really sure yet. The dimensions you can see here is slightly above 6.1 and 6, and I'm gonna cut the page a 7 and 650. I mean, not the page, the vinyl. I'm gonna cut a square of 7 and 650, and that should be enough. Alrighty, so we want this to be 7 and we want this to be 650. Not inches, once again. This is kind of the last step. It's always better to cut a little extra, just so you are sure that everything will be covered. Okay, this is good enough. So now I'm gonna do the dash. This was a whole block, you know, and like this was all covered in glitter. And if you try to just peel the excess in one shot, it's gonna be annoying because in certain corners the thing doesn't come out. So it's just easier to divide it in 3 because the name is made out of Marie-France. And so I peeled this part off. I can relax and then move to the next part and then move to the last part. So now we have Mary France, but I have to peel, I have to peel the inside of the A, the R, the other R, and the other A, and I think that's it. Okay. So, cup. I'm wondering if I should leave it like this or make it shorter. I feel like it would look better if it was a little bit closer. Did it! I did it. Okay, let's go to the epoxy. Now I need to mix my epoxy. So this is the epoxy that I'm using. I just got the cheapest that I could find just to try it, see how I was gonna like it. I like it, therefore I'll buy like gallons next time. Okay. So I do my mixes, I use syringes to make things easier. So what I've done is I put an H on this one for hardener. So I know this syringe goes with this one, and the other one is resin. I forgot to write it, but it should be an R for resin. And as long as you don't confuse the syringes, you should be fine. It should never dry. All right, so I put right under 1/2 ounce of each part in this cup. It's kind of a bitch, not gonna lie. So I learned a trick in a video the other day. It says that at first it gets cloudy, the mix, and then the more you mix it, it becomes clear, and that's when you know you can start using it. So what I'm doing now is putting the resin on the edges of all my vinyls, transfer, all that, so I can see if there's going to be an issue of lift. It's kind of like if I was gluing it, you know. I don't know if it's a very useful or useless technique what I'm doing, but I do it anyway. Voila, voila. Here we go. Stick. Okay, that's wonderful what I've just done. Okay, well now we're gonna go with our fingers. What's annoying is how big the gloves are, and so it stinks to the end of it. It's so funny. I got them from Walmart, but because I have tiny fingers, they don't work really well. So I didn't say this, but I'm going up until the rim, but then I'm gonna put acetone because you don't want this to be entirely covered. Like a very thin layer is good enough. Gonna have to make sure that it's gonna turn all night, because if not, we're gonna have big problems tomorrow. Looks like I got all the product out, so that's fine. However, this big issue right now is really pissing me off. Need another glove. Fast. Really fast. So I think one thing I might do is try to switch it to the other one. So here's what I've done. I put it on the other one, so now it's super long. It's kind of crazy. Like this. Hopefully it's good for now. And I'm gonna try to fix the other one. While this dries, I'm gonna use some Huggies wipes over here to clean this part. Or should I? Or should I just leave it like that? I'm just worried the lid is not gonna close. And I noticed there's like a little dent of white here. I didn't see that. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the turner. I've been trying to fix it, and it's a weight situation. It's just that, like, so you see how I've taken the second part out, the one that has the balloon, so I could put it on the other turner and it turns fine when it's on its own, but then with the weight, I guess something's off. I mean, this is the first turner that I made. It's kind of fucked up. It doesn't look pretty. I mean, it's not supposed to look pretty, but with it not being made super precisely, it might just, you know, be off. And the truth is, I can't fix it without the other part, but I need the other part to dry. So I wanted to work on the lid right now, but I need a turner for that, and I don't have another one. So I think I'm just gonna let it cure, sit. I might do a second coat of epoxy on that cup anyway. I'm not really sure. I just feel like one might just not be enough. I don't really know. So I think I'm gonna let it sit overnight, and then I'm gonna close the vlog here. And if you want to know how I finished this cup and everything, then I advise that you subscribe and click on the bell so you can be notified when I post the next video with the part 2. That was Ice Cube falling on the floor. So far it looks really pretty. I think it's gonna look good, but I really think it should probably get a second coat of epoxy just by safety, and also the bottom with the lighting. You can't really see, but yeah, I don't know. I hope I'll be able to close the cup just fine, because that's a cup for a hot beverage. And the last thing I want is my mom, obviously, or any other person that would get this cup, I mean a similar cup, to burn themselves. So yeah, I'm excited for this project. Alright guys, well, this was the first studio vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish we could have finished more, but sometimes problems happen. And I will see you in the next studio vlog. Bye!